Greetings to readers, viewers, and listeners, and welcome to this special edition of the Letters for Lent, the an- the annual edition of the Autistic Superblog, where I take the mass readings for this time of Lent and adapt them to daily life to kind of preach without preaching in a way. So, for full disclosure, I am a Roman Catholic, so I just want to get that out of the way. So I figured this might be a great way to kind of get into the Lenten season, but also do something where I'm reaching out to people. Um, at the time of this recording, it is January 11th, so there's going to be a couple months where this is going to be dated, but the message rings as true as it does right now. So that being said, I want to talk about Ash Wednesday. There are going to be a lot of people that are going to have ashes on their foreheads, myself included. And it's not going to be something where we're dirting ourselves. Well, I guess you could say that actually is the case, because by reminding ourselves of the dust we wear on our foreheads, it's explaining how we're humbling ourselves to better take the Lenten traditions very seriously. It's making us realize that this life, if this year has been anything in particular, has been nothing but setbacks, shortcomings, and suffering. Definitely suffering in the long term. And as far as 2 years ago, you can imagine that suffering's gone on all around. I kind of look at it in the same way of The Princess Bride, where Wesley says to Buttercup, "Life is pain." Anyone who says anything different is selling something. It's the same thing here. So I want to just take this time to kind of explain why the ashes are on the forehead, at least from my point of view. Ashes are a sign of humility, of showing that we need God's help, of showing that we can't do everything by ourselves. We need help. And of course, in the last 2 years, I'm sure we can all agree that we've all need help at some point down the road. Myself included. As a person as a fellow Spectrumite, I've had to ask for help more times than I care to imagine, and it's so difficult. It's so hard to ask for help when you feel like you could do everything yourself, but there are times when you can't. So, in that kind of vein, I wanted to bring that up to kind of bring forth that whole situation of humility and asking for help. How hard is it for you? How hard is it for you, readers and viewers, to ask for help? Probably a little difficult. I know it's the same thing for me. And I'm sure that everyone around us has asked for help at some point. Some people might think of it as a handout. Some people might think of it as other things. But the important thing is that they're asking for help. And that's important in our lives. We need to realize that we're not in this by ourselves. We can't be in this by ourselves, because it's not true, because we definitely need help. We can't say that we don't need help. So that's kind of what the ashes are for Ash Wednesday. So if you like this video, you can check me out on the autisticsuperblog.wordpress.com. You can check me out on the Autistic Super channel on YouTube, and you can check out on Instagram as well. And you can check out all my videos from not only the Letters for Lent, but also the Advent Hope and other videos on the autisticsuperblog.wordpress.com. Stay safe, stay strong, and as always, shine on.